full-blown response and reception mode of a democracy, because my office got hundreds of calls about various aspects of legislation that was before us, whether it was the moratorium, whether it was the 8% cut, whether it was a bill to deal with the wife of former Governor Wang Louis, whether it was issues with Little League, issues with retirement, issues just on a whole with the structure and services government provide. So I think I should welcome that opportunity for our people in the territory to participate in their democracy. Now, of course, a lot of the commentary, even zoning changes, everything is under scrutiny now. Everybody is participating on a level that affects them directly. And that's what we want. We want you to respond. We want you to be involved. And we accept constructive criticism. We accept disagreement respectfully. And we accept people participating in their democracy to make the place a better place to live, a better place for the relationships that are necessary to thrive, and a better place for the values that a human should have in a community life to grow, develop, and demonstrate that we are on a course as the human race, as we interact here, toward the values that have been expressed in many of the major religions, Jesus Christ, Buddha. You could go down the line, because they all teach us how to be better people. And in that vein, I need to mention something that happened last night. And I will mention it. And I need to mention it in the context of where are we going in our community? How could 5 women get in a fight and stab up each other to a point where one dies? In an open environment where we're trying to promote social activity in our town with a jump up, and they end up in a fight with somebody die. Well, I am going to say that I am extremely disappointed that we have been degraded to that type of behavior. But you know something? People need to take responsibility for what they say sometimes on the radio. What elected officials might promote confrontation, and how we are going to interact with each other. Promoting confrontation and promoting violence by using fighting words on the radio when you're doing a talk show is what will lead to what happened last night. Now, when the people acted out, the people that are using these fighting words on the radio over a period of time don't want to take responsibility. But when the congresswoman it was Arizona, I believe, had gotten shot, and people had on their webpage violence toward Democrats and violence toward people who espouse a certain ideology or certain type of expression for their platform as an elected official, and then somebody acts it out, somebody got to take responsibility. Because some of these people will listen to the fighting words and the confrontational speech and then go out and act it out. And that type of thing we have to stop. We have to take responsibility for our words and our actions. And so you just can't get on the radio and say anything about elected officials or say anything about other people who disagree with you in the community and call them all kind of names and say all kind of things, and don't expect some people to act out that type of behavior. And then when it happens, nobody has the answers, because we're not stopping crime and we're not stopping violence. All we're doing is promoting it, some people, and don't take responsibility for promoting it. And I want us as a community to reflect on that. Because I am an elected official and I don't want to see this happening in our community. 3 shooting last week. The brother of a senator. Manslain in Mal was an innocent bystander. 5 women get in a fight, 1 gets stabbed up and die. Where are we going? And why are we accepting this in our community where everybody live, work, and want to have the types of entertainment and the functions that we could enjoy ourselves? The jump up was great. I was there last night. And I have 7 children. And 3 of my daughters were out last night. And my son. So what are we doing? Are we going to expose our children to this type of behavior continuously and say, it's all right? It's not. And so I have to start with that because I don't accept any elected official who always want to be in a confrontational mood that will sort of set a tone in the community that is all right. And I don't want to accept people that are getting on the radio and always talking fighting words and talking words of revolution and they fighting this and they need to get shot and they need to get... No, this is wrong. And people need to take responsibility. Owners of radio station, take responsibility. If this is the type of thing that's on your radio, you need to stop it. Because it's being acted out in our community. And there is some responsibility to bear when people are allowing that to come over a public way. And it ain't gonna happen in the legislature because that ain't gonna happen. Because then it's time to sanction people. We're not going to set an example where we setting an example about confrontation and not understanding conflict resolution. And then young people are, well, you see the senator doing that. Or you hear that on the radio with somebody who is touted a leader. When you touted a leader, how are you going to lead? Lead by example. Lead by not using fighting words and not using the type of behavior and actions and words that would incite other people who don't understand to do and act them out. So I have to go there today. And although I wanted to start the show on a different note, when I got the text last night, I was disturbed. Because they must, every weekend, some kind of violent action happen in our community. And what are we going to do about it? Are we going to accept it and, well, all right, it's them who do drugs and let them go? No. Every human life is of value. We should be able to train them and stop them from being involved with illegal activity. And it's the same thing when we were doing the moratorium. People want to say we're against business. No, we ain't against business. Because the moratorium is sending a message about the type of activities we want in our town. We do not want illegal activity, which is happening in the towns right now. You go down Queen Street, Frederickstead, look at the bars there. Come down to the end of Company Street and Christianstead, look what's happening. You going to send your children out there 10 o'clock at night to play and to go to some kind of activity? Are you going to hang around there too? Congregate to play domino in any place? Unless you want to get involved with that type of activity? No, we don't want that in our towns no more. And we need to send a statement as leaders. And the statement was made. And if we need to amend the law to allow for activities in the towns that are different, and we need to get consumer and licensing affair to enforce certain things, and we need to amend those laws, we could do that. We having a town meeting to do exactly that, to hear from the business community. But we're hearing from the business community, and you open a business in town like a nightclub, and then they got killing in the nightclub. How are we going to work? The two are diametrically opposed. Violence in the town is opposed to somebody opening a new business in the town. Because nobody going to come to that business when there's a potentiality for violence. And ain't a potentiality no more. It happening. So I have to speak to you this morning in an excited tone and with a degree of frustration about what's happening in our communities. Okay? And I needed to do that because to me, I have to say, you elected me to represent you, and I am going to speak about things that are wrong. And I want to commend Senator Sarnes on the floor when he was given his time for debate, because he spoke about it too. And several senators spoke, and the debate in that session, when you get a chance, people watch the session. Listen to the debate. Listen to the issues. There was a very high level of debate. People were disagreeing, but everybody had a good rationale for their position. So I just want to start the show like that. I don't want you to think that you can't call in and that it's going to be high energy, me responding to you. No, it ain't that way. I just had to have that type of expression to show some frustration with a bit of emotion, because it's really that way. Who is the parent of that girl that get killed? I don't know. But can you imagine? She go out to hang out in jump up, and then you get a call as a parent, your daughter dead because she gets stabbed. Well, I can't. Well, my peace. No, man. That's how I feel. Because I have children that age. My son is 25, my daughter 24, 22, 20. Okay? 3 of them were out last night. Okay? When we went to St. John, and they were coming back on the boat, and my son called me from the boat run aground. This is what a parent goes through. And any parent now listening to me know what I'm talking about. So it ain't beyond none of us. We live in this community, okay? And I'm sorry, Carla. I hope Tuti and Hole you could call back, because we'll take the calls, okay? I'm not going to continue to just talk about this. I just needed to do it, and I'm finished, okay? Thank you very much. I'll take the call. Good morning, Carla.
Yes, good morning. We cannot see the sanitarians in St. Croix.
I know. Okay, let me address that. Stay on the line. The recent weather with the hurricane and lightning knock out a piece of equipment. I think they say it cost $38,000 on St. Croix. Mm-hmm. So we couldn't transmit the signal over the last 2 weeks. And we appropriated some money to deal with the asbestos and some other things. And part of the money has to go to buying that, I think it's a microwave transmitter. And we were very disappointed. So what I did was I spoke to the executive director. We having the DVD sent over to St. Croix of the one that was shown. And we're going to try to show it toward the rest this weekend and the rest of the week. I want to announce to the people that all the finance committee meetings that were scheduled have been postponed. And we're rescheduling them until Senator Dow lays his brothers to rest, okay?
Well, apparently it was from since the month of May. It's not just the other day.
Yeah, it's been down. And what we did after the month of May was we used Channel 12 equipment.
I was told that.
Yeah. And we had to get on equipment, though, because there's but so much we could do with, they wear and tear, they spend their money, and Channel 12 was gracious. And we will get the equipment, okay? Oh. I'll speak to the director of OMB to get a money release, and we have to get on equipment. And that was sad, because you could imagine the amount of calls that I got.
Exactly.